Hello, fellow people and viewers. My name is Jason Murray, and today I'll be taking you through map skills. We'll be starting off by looking at some key terms. We'll be starting off with the first term, which is map, a flat representation of the Earth's surface or part of it. Then we'll be looking at a compass rose, a diagram on a map which will be showing the directions from north, east, south, west. Then we'll be looking at a legend or a key, which is a box that explains the symbols and colors used on a map. Then we'll be looking at a scale, a tool that shows the distance on a map to the ground. Latitude and longitude, these are both consist of imaginary lines. One is running east to the west side on a globe or a map. The other one is running from north to south on a globe or map. Then we'll be also seeing the equator. This is a line that divides the Earth in half between north and south, between the two hemispheres, that is, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So, what are maps? Maps are a representation of chosen symbols that defines a place's features, the information in a visual way. They help us learn about the world through showing sizes and shapes of countries and location features. They can also give us a valuable asset of figuring how far we need to travel between places. They can also show exact details on neighborhoods and streets. Then we get different types of maps. The first one being physical maps, world maps, regional or continental maps, and road or street maps. Physical maps. A physical map is a type of map that shows natural features of the Earth. These features are things like mountains, rivers, lakes, valleys. It uses different colors and shading to indicate the land's surface, shows how tall mountains are, and the depth of oceans and low-lying flat areas, as seen in the image next to it. Then we get world maps. A map of the world is drawn as a representation of the Earth that shows us all the continents, countries, and oceans. Here are some of the key features of a world map for grade 5s. Continent maps. Big land areas like Africa, Asia, South America. There are 7 continents in total. Then we have our oceans, the large body of water such as Pacific, Atlantic, and there are 5 others. Or no, they are part of the 5. Sorry. Then we move on to countries, smaller divisions within continents. Like in Africa, we get South Africa. It helps us to see the whole world and all it has to offer. These maps are typically large and on a globe. Then we move on to regional maps. A regional map is a type of map that focuses on a specific area, such as a country, or even a smaller region like a city. These maps are used to show important details about the area, such as boundaries, physical features, cities and towns, roads and transportation, and special landmarks. Sorry. Then we get street or road maps. Street or road maps are specifically drawn to show us how to find our way from one place to another and where we live. They are guides to tell us where things are located within our town or city. Key features of a street or road map. Roads and streets are lines that show where you have to walk and where you can ride a bike. They can be thick, they can be thin on a road map. Symbols. Map use symbols to show us things like hospitals, gas stations, train stations, and important places that we need to know, as well as landmarks. These are the important places like schools, bridges, and famous buildings, or even old historical art designs. We're also going to be looking at key concepts. First off, map scale. A scale is a tool used to measure distance on a map. It compares the map distance to the actual distance on the ground. The scale usually appears as a ratio or a visual line segment with units of measurement. The units measure on the map in millimeters or centimeters and can represent kilometers or meters on the ground. Example. In the picture is an example of a map scale that shows every 1 centimeter is 200 meters in real life. Then we'll be looking at another key concept, which is the legend or key. The key or legend is a chart or a list that explains what the symbols, colors, and lines on a map mean. Without a key, it would be very difficult to understand what the map is showing. Symbols, small pictures or shapes that used to represent different features on the map, such as trees, forests, a dot for a city, or a triangle for a mountain. As seen in the key next to us, we can see that the green is a woodland area, the lake is a blue area, the moorland is a white area. Then we can also see the viewpoints, the castles, the church, and the different symbols that are used to represent them in this key and ledger. Now we'll be moving on to a compass. A compass helps us to find the main directions, which is north, south, east, and west, as well as the in-between directions like northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. Being able to read a compass can help you guide from one location to another. A compass can also help be used to understand and navigate directions as on a map. And a good way to remember how a compass works is you can quickly say, never eat silkworms. This helps learners remember that north is first, then east, then south, then west. Now, we're going to do a quick map skills compass activity. What direction is the following things from the fountain? First off, we'll start with the slide. So what direction is the slide from the fountain? And then we'll move on to the swing. What direction is the swing from the fountain? Then we'll move on to the bench, and so on and so forth. When you're done with that, please write it down and then I will show you the answers. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's look at the answers. So looking at this activity, we quickly can see that from the fountain, the slide is north. From the fountain, the swings are south, west. From the bench, they're northeast. From the jungle gym, they're south. From the turtle well, it's west. Then we'll be looking at map skills. Map skills are important because why are map skills important? The geographical literacy. Understanding maps helps us to be able to tell where we are in the world and what the world has in store for us across the land. The real life applications. Map skills are practical for daily life, such as reading directions, understanding transportation systems, or planning travel. It helps us understand where or how we are going to get there, as well as streets and locations along the way there. This was seen in the previous activity where you had to describe things from where they were from the fountain, showing that skills that you need spatial and directional awareness. Anyways, thank you for sitting through this presentation. May you have a lovely day.